you move up to number 3 in order to make sure you get one of these guys, maybe the guy at BYU, why not move up to 2? But I always felt, and I think their intel told them that Trevor Lawrence would be 1, Zach Wilson would be 2 to the Jets. So I positioned myself at 3. Now, there was a report that came out that says Kyle Shanahan likes one guy and the GM, John Lynch likes another guy. And I believe these are the 2 guys that they're kind of like, okay, I believe I believe Kyle Shanahan really loves Mac Jones. I believe John Lynch likes Trey Lance. And when a situation like this, Skip, you're that high up. You've mortgaged 2022 and 2023's first-round draft picks. Skip, we need to come to an agreement on this one, Skip.
Well, you should have had an agreement going in, I would think.
Well, I think that, Skip, I think nothing is wrong if we're 3 days away from the draft. If we agree, okay, what's it gonna be? Here's your pros about Mac Jones. Here are your pros about Trey Lance. Skip, here's the thing that's gone unnoticed. Mac Jones has a DUI. 2.
Okay.
And he's still considered. Now, Justin Fields, he got to explain that he had to take epilepsy medicine, that he's going to be the first in the building, he's going to be the last out of the building, he's a competitor, he's passionate. One guy's told him, well, you know, football is not the end-all, be-all. Another guy has a DUI and ain't changed the course of anything. So for me, I like Mac Jones because I think he's pro-ready, playing in that system. Steve Sarkisian, Skip, he ran the offense that he ran in Atlanta. A lot of it had to do because, if I'm not mistaken, Skip, they kept Kyle Shanahan's offense. Sarkisian had to learn that. So now he probably brought a little offshoot of that to Alabama. The question is, obviously, Mike, my former head coach, is going to weigh heavy in this decision. They're going to get together, John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, Mike Shanahan, because this is a franchise-altering decision, Skip. This is going to change the course of how the 49ers are going to be for the foreseeable future, because they don't have a first-round pick until 2024.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely, Trey Lance. There's a reason why, Skip, they went to see this second pro day. There's a reason why Mike asked him to work out with John Beck, who Kyle knows from Washington football team, and they put him through drills. They had him make throws that he's going to have to make in this offense. And they probably like what they saw, which complicates the matter, Skip. That's why you go, because you can talk yourself out of stuff, Skip, like, I really like that car. I like that color. And you're like, I'm going to go one more time and look at the other color. You're like, I don't know now. Now, you don't put yourself in a predicament, Skip. You should have just got the car and come on home.
True.
And I think that's what they're doing right now, Skip. They went and got one last look at Trey Lance, and they're like, oh, okay, let's rethink this thing. Let's make sure we're in agreement that the guy that we take here, and I believe it's going to be Mac Jones. But, Skip, when the commissioner gets up there and says with the 3rd pick, the San Francisco 49ers select Trey Lance, it's not like I'm going to be like Philadelphia when they took Mike Mamula. I'm not going to be on the floor, Skip. I'm not going to be that. So, but I do believe it's close. It's neck and neck.
Okay. So nobody knows the Shanahans much better than the guy sitting across from me.
Right.
In fact, you say the name Mike Shanahan so many times on this show that I'm hesitant. I almost start calling you Shannon Shanahan, right?
Yeah, Shanny.
Yeah. But I do appreciate your insight into both of them and the way they think. And I think they're a package deal.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
Even though John Lynch was supposed to be the package deal, he has to defer to Kyle because Kyle has final say.
Final.
Okay. And the truth is, maybe Mike has final say because Kyle will go with what his dad thinks in the end, because his dad was really, really good at this.
Yes.
His dad did pick Jay Cutler, traded up for him at number 10. You don't like Jay Cutler? I loved him, Vanderbilt University, but that was a score to me for Mike Shanahan, and Jay had his run.
You, Skip, I don't know if it was a bouquet to Jay Cutler or it was a knock on Jake Plummer, because I think he was kind of fed up with Jake Plummer and he really wanted out of that situation.
Okay, I got it. Okay, what do we know right now? Well, you say that their intel is probably telling them that the Jets are just carving in concrete, in stone, Zach Wilson. They've engraved it in stone, right?
Skip, Zach Wilson is even saying he's talked to former Jet quarterbacks how to deal with it. Why would you do that if you haven't been told?
Better question. Why would the Jets let this leak ahead of the draft? Because it does them no good to just sort of have it declared, publicly declared, game over, they're taking Zach Wilson, right?
Yes.
Who, by the way, was pretty fragile when he was at BYU because he had 2 surgeries, and he's an escape artist, and he's a daredevil, and I'm afraid he might put himself in harm's way, and he's not the biggest kid.
Nope.
So I'm not sure how long he's going to, I'm going to knock on wood for him, but not sure how long he's going to last playing that kind of Brett Favre-esque style.
No, you can't play that. Nah.
Okay, I'm just not sure about that. Mel Kiper, for whom I have great respect, has been adamant from day one that Justin Fields is the second-best quarterback in this draft. Well, if that's the case, then why wouldn't the Jets take Justin Fields at number 2? If Mel is right about that, they should take him.
Well, here's the thing, though, Skip. Mel might feel that, but that's not what their intel, that's not what their scouts, that's not what their front office, when they do their due diligence, that's not what they're seeing. And so at the end of the day, you keep on listening to Mel Kiper if you want to, and then you'll be helping Mel Kiper make these draft grades, old player, because you're going to be without a job.
Okay, but he's been right a lot more than he's been wrong.
Skip, after 40 years in the business, he's done this a lot. But, Skip, maybe people in the front office, when they're doing their evaluations, maybe they look at it a little differently. Maybe, and it's not to say Mel is right and they're wrong, or they're wrong and he's right, but Skip, you got to base it on, because I get it. I'm not so sure how many of these people actually listen to these draft analysis, Skip. I got my board, Skip. I got my board. What is my scout saying? I've sent all my scouts, I need y'all to go take a look at Mac Jones. I've sent all my scouts, I need y'all to go take a look at Trey Lance. I've sent all my people, Skip. Now bring me back what you think. And when I go over this, man, I'm seeing more people saying they like Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance is going to be the best in this system. Well, then that's when you have to make a decision. Because remember, Coach Belichick, the report is Coach Belichick likes to forego what his scouts saying and go it alone.
Okay. And I have told you from the start, in all my years covering NFL drafts, and that goes way back to mid-'70s.
Right.
I have never seen such clashing opinions over the top 5 quarterbacks, all of whom could go at least in the top 10, but maybe even the top 6 or 7.
We believe 3 quarterbacks are going 1, 2, 3. Now, we do believe that.
Okay. Never have I heard such divergent opinions.
Right.
All over the board, all over the map, except for Trevor Lawrence, who threw up the biggest red flag last week in the Sports Illustrated article where he said he has no chip on his shoulder and he's not really driven to win Super Bowls, blah, blah, blah. I didn't want to hear it. I don't love it. You probably didn't hate it as much as I did.
No, Skip, I don't have a problem with him not having a chip on his shoulder because, you know, hey, he's been the #1 player for such a long time. He was the best player going into college. He's going to be the #1 overall pick coming out of college. But I need a burning desire. But I need football to be the most important thing. And I'm not so sure that's the most important thing to him. That's what I need. Forget the chip. You don't want to have the chip, fine. But I need, I would need you to be as devoted to your wife as you choose to be, like, for richness and health and sickness and poor and all that. That's how I need football.
I agree. I'm with you. So I've told you, my bottom line on Justin Fields is he will have higher highs than any of these quarterbacks because you saw what he did to Trevor Lawrence's team.
Right.